Hey guys, so today I want to talk to you about terrarium setup for Vinegaroons and Care. So these guys are really simple. Basically, all you need is a medium to large size crow keeper. I have a juvenile in here right now. So these guys are kind of small. They're like, I don't know, I'd say mine's about maybe 3 or 4 inches. They're not that big, but I mean, when they get to be adults, they can get bigger. So basically, I might need to like change his cage when he gets bigger, but we'll see. So all you need is a medium to large size crow keeper. Not too big, because for some reason, if you get a bigger cage, it stresses them out because there's too much room. And they don't really do that much with it anyways. They mostly just stay hidden. So, and for the substrate, these guys like to burrow. So you will need, I use coconut fiber for mine. But I've never actually seen mine burrow. My Vinegaroon doesn't burrow. So, he doesn't really have that much coconut fiber. I mean, this is how much he started with. Like, about that much. It's not that much. He could burrow if he wanted to. I've seen him try, but he doesn't really commit to it. He just kind of, he'll start it, and there'll be like a little like a little cave that he started, and then he'll just stop. So I don't know. He mostly just uses his hide right here. Like, he mostly just stays in that, and he's pretty content. Which, he's in there right now, and I can see him, but the camera. Let me see if I can put the flash. The flash won't go on for me, but these guys mostly just stay hidden in their hide. Let's see. I can see him. I can see him, but the camera doesn't want to play nice. There we go. I got the flash to come on. So there, I have the flash on. Now you can see him inside the cage because he won't come out for me. So you guys can see him right there. He's in there just chilling. He probably doesn't appreciate the light that I'm shining on him right now. But that's not good. I can't. There's so much crap. But yeah. Let's see. Boop. There he is. Oh, shit. Scared the shit out of him. Don't squirt me. I'm not gonna piss you off. So there he is. And, of course, my camera doesn't want to focus. Let's see. There he is. They're very cool looking. I don't know if you guys can see it, but they also have that tail on the back, which is what I'm trying to stay away from. They use that tail as a little sensory organ so that they can feel their surroundings, because they're essentially kind of, I mean, they're not blind, but they mostly just use that tail to explore their surroundings, as well as those two really long antenna-like things. Those are actually their feelers, and they use those to explore a lot too. And but yeah, that tail can also, at the base of it, if you're not careful, you can get squirted with acid, and that's not a fun thing. I've never been squirted personally, but I've heard that I mean, I don't know if it stings or not, but it doesn't smell good. It smells like vinegar. So yeah, you'd kind of want to stay away from that. So I'm going to put him back. Okay, so there's him. And so, yeah, essentially you want to make sure that there's a hide, regardless of if he's burrowing or not, because they like to hide. So you want to hide, you want to make sure you have some kind of substrate for them, in case, to give them the option if they wanted to burrow. I use coconut fiber, and make sure they have a decent enough space for them to live in. And the other thing is, they eat live feeders, so like crickets. Like right there, there's a dead cricket that he didn't really eat. He ate like the butt part, but he left the rest of it. So they eat crickets, they can eat mealworms, you can give them dubia roaches, basically any kind of feeder, as long as it's not too big. I mostly feed mine, I've fed mine mealworms before, but I mostly feed them crickets because it's the easiest to feed. Mealworms, if you put them, unless they have some kind of thing that keeps them from burrowing, they just burrow into the substrate and it sucks. So I don't use mealworms that much, but I use crickets. And most of the time he will eat the crickets, but for some reason last night I gave him a cricket and he decided he just wanted to be a lazy bum and not finish it all. So yeah, they eat live feeders, give them crickets, dubia roaches, anything that they'll eat. And what's the next thing they have? You can feed them, I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, you could try other feeders, but anything that works you can try, as long as it's a live feeder, insect. That's pretty much it. As for water, these guys don't really need a whole lot of water. They're used to living in, like, dry conditions. They do need humidity, so I mostly mist the cage at least twice a day. But I keep them in a critter keeper as well, and the critter keepers are really bad for keeping humidity in. But mine does just fine. Like, I just mist it twice a day, mist it on the walls, and he'll come out and, like, drink the water off the walls. I don't put a water dish in here because I'd be afraid of him tipping it over, and I don't want to deal with that. I mean, I don't know of anybody that puts water dishes in with their Vinegaroons, but they probably would drink out of them if you put them in there. I mean, you could try it, but I mostly just mist my cages, and they do just fine. So mist twice a day. As for feeding the crickets, I mostly just feed them twice a week, like one cricket twice a week, and that does just fine. These guys don't need to eat a whole bunch. And that's essentially it, I'd say. Make sure they have a hide, they have enough substrate, the cage gets misted a couple times a day, and make sure you're feeding them gut-loaded crickets, like twice a week. So that's basically it. These guys are pretty easy to care for. I would not recommend handling them, unless you're really confident that you're not gonna drop them and you're not squeamish. I would not recommend these for little kids, because they can squirt acid from their tails, and if you get that in your eye, it does sting. I mean, I've never had it happen, but it does. And it's not something you want to be a part of. But I mean, even if you do, I would say rinse your water out really good with some cold water. I would recommend seeing a doctor. I mean, I've never had it happen to me, so I don't really know how to go from there. But yeah, these guys, they're not really meant to be handled. They're mostly just a show animal. That's, they're interesting to keep and watch, but I don't recommend handling them. But that's essentially it. Alrighty, I'll see you guys in the next video.